Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 15 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Just logging in today, pretty much exactly where I left off last episode. Want to get started working on that system that I promised you guys at the end of the last one, where I managed to get all this cool stuff that my quarry picks up back to my base. Now there's going to be a few things I need to upgrade back at my base, so I should probably work on those as well as the transfer system. First of all, I need to make sure I have enough room to store all this junk I got, and if my system gets overloaded, I need something to do with items I don't want to keep, so we're going to have to make sure that's ready to roll. And I might need to upgrade some chests as well, and maybe even place down a new chest or two, just to make sure that everything's running smoothly. My quarry is running at the moment, but I'm probably going to turn it off for now. Ta-da! And swing back and turn it back on in a little bit. Now remember I told you guys that machines and Buildcraft have an internal capacitor here, so that's why the quarry continues to run after I stop supplying it power. It had more juice than it needed, and it's just going to use up the last of that stuff and then eventually turn off. So you can already see it's still moving pretty quick, but maybe it'll slow down soon enough. So I'm going to go get ready to start building some neat contraptions, and I'll be back when I'm ready. And I'm not going to do much of this on camera, but it was starting to get dark out, and before I started getting all my items together, I said, hey, let's go hunting for Enderman. So I got my Philosopher's Stone, I got my Athame, and I'm ready to roll. Alright, I was almost killed, but I definitely almost got a decent amount of Ender Pearls, just 2. So not a terribly exciting amount, but, that'll do for now. You can hear all the mobs outside dying because I just slept through the night. I want to get myself a few more stacks of cobble and throw it into my digger's backpack, by the way, because I want to make sure to have an extra little bit of it. Cool. Alright, let's store our Athame away and get back to my drill. And speaking of fighting, I did build up a little bit of hunger, and I'm pretty sure I'm out of food at the moment. So let's sneak outside here, make sure there's no creepers creeping, because that's what they do. There's one. You can see him hanging out. I wonder if I transformed a creeper into a... yeah, I've got some glowstone left. I want to transform it into an Enderman while he's in the water. I think that would be funny. Yeah, see? Look, there he goes. Poof. He's hanging out over there. I'm looking at you, buddy. Bring it on. And then he gets bored. Alright, he's going to despawn in a second because it's daytime. I'm going to take care of some food issues that I have. Hey, look, there's a creeper. Be creepin'. And I'll be back. Alright, you get to watch me try and fight the creeper with low health. Hooray, I live. Alright, so I've got a lot of excess wheat here, so I'm going to make a few pieces of bread with it while I'm, waiting for my other food to cook up. There we go. Should have pretty much everything cooked now. Nice. And bread will be a nice supplement if I don't fill my hunger bar enough and don't want to use an extra piece of meat to refill it, because that always bugs me when that happens. Cleaning up my inventory from my little excursion, and it's time to start crafting up some more chests, I think. Yeah, it's probably a smart idea at this point. So one thing I want to do is upgrade my existing mod items chest to a golden chest. And remember, you can just craft an iron to gold upgrade like this, and our nice little mod items chest will go from small to large. Woot! And I need some more wood, as a matter of fact, so I'm going to go take care of that and then be right back. Alright, much better. Lost a little bit of durability on my axe there. I'm thinking maybe chainsaws in the near future. But before that, I'm going to need some more chests. So let's take care of that. I want 2 more, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to make them both iron chests for now. Might upgrade them to gold right away. I guess we'll find out if I feel like it. I might do it. We'll see. Going crazy. Alright, 2 iron chests. There and there. I want to split out my rare stuff. I want to have all my bars and whatnot in one chest, and all my dusts and gems in the other chest. So I'm going to take care of that off camera right now. Alright, this looks pretty neat and organized. I'm placing my cinnabar and tungsten into my mod items miscellaneous chest here. I'm probably going to split this mod items chest up in the future, but for now I've got my metals chest storing all my metals, and all my rare stuff like dusts and lapis and all that coolness, and diamond and coal. Might want to move my crystals into my Thaumcraft room at some point in the future, but, we'll see about that. I want to just replace my sign here and call it dusts and gems, etc. Cool. And pretty soon we won't need signs. Now this last chest down here, what do I want to do with this guy? Good question. Alright, so next up in this neat little system I'm going to have here, I want to make sure all my metals get sorted. I'll deal with that chest on the end in a bit. I don't have an exact use for it yet, but I will have one soon. Building myself another logistics chassis there. Going to get myself some more orange dye. Place those guys in the corner, but first I need an iron gear. There we go. Really can't wait to have my logistics system completely up and running. Love it. These guys, oh yeah, I need redstone, don't I, for this? I do. Always forgetting something. Though I've gotten better at it, don't you guys think? I think I've gotten better about forgetting items before I start crafting. I say that as I forget something while I was crafting. Polymorphic item sink. Cool. Let's get these items out of the way here. You guys can just move for me for a minute. Yep, out of my way, please. There we go. Perfect. Let's get the logistics chassis Mark II placed right there. And I need my wrench. I have it on me too. Look at that. See? Kind of had it on me. Didn't know I did. It was a mistake, but a good one. Alright, so polymorphic item sink. Going to store some iron in there. Now any new ores that show up will land in there. So that's giving me a little bit more room to breathe with my whole sorting system area. That should be cool. Nice. And you I don't need anymore, so you can get placed in here. Alright, next up, I need to deal with items that I do not have a use for. That's a good question. Items I don't have a use for. What could that mean? Well, I'm mining out in a desert right now, and I might have a noticeably large amount of sand eventually. And once I dig through the sand layer, I'm going to have a serious amount of cobblestone. What's going to happen to all my cobblestone and sand? Well, eventually, in this current system I have set up, this chest will get filled up with it all. And then it's going to have nowhere else to go, so it's going to land over here in this chest. And then once this chest fills up, I'm going to have a problem. So, to resolve that, I'm going to need to get rid of that stuff somehow. And I've now decided that this item on the end here will be for fancy building supplies. So just going to create a sign that says as much as that. And then we can get some fancy building supplies going here. So we'll call it fancy blocks. And that's stuff that's like, you know, brick and marble and basalt and all that fancy cool stuff. Nice. Cool. So now we have a nice clean chest here. And this here is Direwolf's old fancy sorting machine trick. Basically what I do is I fill up the chest with all the items in the layout that I want. So I want to have about 4, rows of cobble and 2 rows of sand, 2 rows of dirt, and 1 row of gravel in this chest. And again, when I upgrade it to a diamond chest, eventually, this chest will get bigger, so I'll obviously have to deal with that. But for now, I've pretty much designated how much of each item I want by putting the stacks in there. So what'll happen is once this last stack of cobblestone shows up, if I didn't do it this way, I'd probably have a chest full of sand after a while. I don't want that. So I want to have about this much of the item. So by placing 1 in each one, it ensures that, sand can't go land in this spot. So that's neat. Now let's get ready to take care of the downstairs. You guys saw me dig out this big old area, and you're like, Dyer, why'd you build this big, huge area that you didn't need? Silly guy. Well, don't worry, I had a purpose for it. This room is going to eventually be expanded even more, but it's going to be where a lot of the automation and cool stuff happens. What I want to do is place down here probably a couple of recyclers, believe it or not. Yep, recyclers from Industrial Craft will recycle all the junk that you don't need, specifically cobblestone and sand and dirt that you don't want to deal with, at least for now. Eventually I'll get some kind of antimatter relay or something from Equivalent Exchange, but that'll have to come in the future because that item needs like 9 diamonds or something like that. So don't have the diamond resources to do that yet. So in order to get a nice fancy recycler, I believe I'm going to need about 10 or 11 pieces of refined iron. So let's get that stuff cooking. Do I have any smooth stone in here by chance? I do not. Well, I know a quick and easy way to make some while I'm waiting. There we go. Loving it. And all that stuff's going to get cooked up and placed in this chest over here. And I'm also probably going to need, from over here, a couple copper cables or so. That should be enough. And some redstone. Hopefully I did everything right, if I remember my recipes. And finally, some glowstone. At least one of them. Alright, let's see if I remember this guy. I need a compressor. And if you guys saw me make the compressor in a previous episode, you'll know it's a machine block. And an electronic circuit. And some smooth stone. There we go. Compressor. And you can use the compressor to get yourself a recycler. It's just 3 pieces of dirt, which I don't have any of that on me. Looks like I had some in my bag. And this thing here, like that, and some dirt. Sweet. 1 recycler for now will probably do it, and I'm saying that only because I have 12 iron left. Oh man, I really need some iron. Better go mining. Well, 25 if you count what's in there. But yeah, definitely need to go mining. I'm going to go place this guy down here somewhere. Let's place him right underneath this area. So maybe like right in the corner for now. That sounds cool. And what I can do is run some cabling. So I'm going to need some more of that fiber optic cable, which should be in my mod items chest. Should be able to access it from down here, right? Yeah, I can. What's up, glass fiber cable? Just gonna... Now remember, I need a low voltage transformer. Ooh, almost forgot. Otherwise, I would have had an explosion. See? I was close to having an explosion, and you guys missed out. Sorry. If I don't hook up a low voltage transformer on my line here, which is currently emitting medium voltage, we'd have a problem. So, straight down here, get this guy hooked up like so. And I need my build craft wrench, or no, my industrial craft wrench. That's it. There we go. Let's click the top of this block. That should do it. And we should have, oh, that's a triple dot up top. Yeah, that's not good. We want the top of the block. There we go. Triple block on top and single block on the bottom. And then we should be able to run this line right here. And for now, that's fine. I might run it behind the recyclers in a bit. But like I said, for now it works. Cool. And this guy should be getting power. And the way he works is just drop your items in the top. Ta-da! And it's got a random chance to recycle the item into a piece of scrap. There it is, scrap. There's 2 things you can use scrap for. Number 1, you can use it to combine 9 of them in a crafting table together, and you get a scrap box. And it's an item from Industrial Craft, which will, when right-clicked, give you 1 random item from the game. Any item. You could get a piece of cobble, or a diamond, or anything in between. So that's what a scrap box does. But it's got a more important use, which we'll get to in the future, which is creating UU matter, which is a neat little mass fabrication system in Industrial Craft. Like I said, we'll get there eventually. But before we move on, I want to show you guys how we're going to get items into this chest. Now, if I set up an item sync module, any sand and dirt that went zipping down there would probably land directly in the recycler, which is not what we want for now. So, let's get out of this chest. We need another module. I know that for sure. And some iron for another one of those iron logistics pipes. But I think I can do it with just a redstone logistics pipe. Yeah, that should be cool. So I'm going to need another logistics pipe here. And then what I want to put in there is called a Terminus Module. There we go. So I'm going to need some purple dye and some ink sacks. Why don't I get those guys ready? I should have some ink sacks, 2 of them, and some red dye, and some blue dye. Gets me purple, right? There we go. Sweet. Fun accessing your chests from the ground underneath, huh? Now, a Terminus Module, what this guy is about, is most of the logistics routing systems in Logistics Pipe have a priority level. So basically the way it works is a priority system. Item sync modules, which specifically request an item, are priority 1, meaning that if an item enters a logistics system, it'll find the nearest item sync module that's looking for that item, in this case maybe cobblestone, and find its way there. And polymorphic item sync modules also have a priority 1. This means that any items here, priority 1, are to land in this chest, and any items here, priority 1 is to land in the chest. So if cobble comes in, and there's room in this chest for cobble, because the polymorphic item sync is priority 1, it's going to make its way there right away. Another item called the passive supplier module is priority 2. So if I were to put cobblestone in the passive supplier module, it would pick it up eventually. eventually. And then finally there's the Terminus Module, which is what I'm crafting now. Let's get it going. The Terminus Module recipe here needs some iron, so I didn't grab that, did I? Nope, gonna need 4 iron real quick. And that guy's got the lowest priority of them all, with the exception of one. The one item that has a lower priority than the Terminus Module, there we go, is the default route. And the default route will be the lowest priority in the system, meaning it'll find its way to the Terminus Module first if it can, and if it can't fit in the Terminus Module, well then it's going to head down to the default route. So let's get this guy in here, and I think it was something like purple and redstone and ink sacs. There we go, Terminus Module, the guy right at the end. So he's going to basically, like I said, take any cobblestone and send it into the recycler, or any other items for that matter. So once the cobblestone in this chest fills up, it'll make its way down to the Terminus Module. And I'm crafting a Mark 1 logistics pipe, chassis pipe, there we go. What that guy is different, there we are. The only difference here is he only has 1 module slot, not 2, so cheaper to make. And the Terminus Module, again, you can choose what items get terminated down here. So let's dig into our digger's backpack to resupply. I don't think I have any dirt on me, that's fine. Basically, I want it to be anything that might land in here. So that's going to be gravel, dirt, sand. Yeah, I have a lot of sand. And cobblestone. Cool. And thanks to my resupply pack, but that's not a big deal, it filled up whatever stacks it could. So dirt, gravel, and sand. Cool. So those 4 items will terminate here if they have nowhere else to go. And if they can't fit in this recycler, what are they going to do? They're going to head up to the default route, which will then try and dump them out back into the Terminus Module slot here once it's got room. So if this recycler fills up, it's not a problem. It'll just send the items back up to this chest, where they'll eventually will get recycled in time. And eventually I'll add another 1 or 2 recyclers here to keep things going. Awesome. And I just started to think about how I'm going to get my items out of this of the recycler here, and I realized I should have gone with a Mark II logistics pipe. Oh well. The reason for that is, of course, what I want to do is use the Mark II chassis pipe here, and then use the extractor module. Whoops. So I should have made the Mark II with a terminus and an extractor. So where's my wrench? I'm going to set this system up again. So in case you guys weren't paying attention 5 seconds ago, you get to see it. So that guy, some of you, gravel, and cobble. Cool. And then I need to get myself a Mark II extractor module, which I'll go craft off camera because you guys have seen that a few times now. And at this point I'm so low on iron it's not even funny. I might need to go mining before I can really get to building that neat little system I promised you guys earlier. So I might go mine off camera after I set this little thing up, and then I assure you I will be back. So let's throw this in here. Get me some lapis and redstone, and I should probably put away this guy. I'll find a use for him in the future, I'm sure. Low on redstone too. Really gotta go mine, like a lot. Need a blank module thingy as well. Almost had everything I needed that time. There we go, extractor module Mark 1 with a golden gear gets me an extractor module Mark 2. And we'll clean these items up as well, because I've got all this extra inventory space that's getting used up. Gonna go set this up in my system, and then, what time is it? Probably to go mine. Now remember, scrap doesn't have anywhere to go, so we're gonna wanna place it somewhere. For now, in the mod items chest is a perfect spot. I'm probably gonna be building up a lot of it, so I might need another chest to put it in. But then I can set up my extractor module here. And scrap comes out the side slot, so we're going to want to tell it that the extractor module should extract from the side. And now we're all set to start extracting items out of the recycler. And the recycler is done. Hooray! Like I said, probably we'll have another one. So I'm going to go mine for a bit and then be back. Ooh, guys, check it out. Found a little chest down here with some goodies in it. What do I got? Ooh, thaumium ingots and some artifacts and some redstone even. Nice. Minecart tracks, huh? Sure, why not? Ooh, cocoa beans too. Bread. I'll take some of that. Inventory's a problem. As always. Poor inventory. I will take the cocoa beans just because they're rare. Alright, just been mining for a little bit down here. Wanted to go drop off some of my items that I collected. Got myself a zombie brain. Woot. Gonna drop all this junk off. Probably gonna need to go head over to my Thaumcraft room. I need another portable hole, by the way. Running low on that. Gonna throw those tracks in my mod items chest, I think. Cocoa beans can go in miscellaneous junk. I'll be back once I finish sorting. And oh yeah, I got a good amount of goodies. 26 iron, but I want to go back for more. Much better. Alright, mined a little bit more, and just watching all my items get sorted now. Loving it. Should be back in a minute once I clean up the last of my inventory here. And real quick, my portable hole here did run out of juice, so I had to get some items to get it back up and running. I'm just going to craft it off camera here. And what's strange is that the portable hole that I had didn't actually get used up. It just starts saying, you cannot... Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. It didn't work on the larger area here. I actually had to dig my way in, so going to refill that. Now let's get to building that neat little system I wanted to build earlier. Alright guys, so I mentioned to you that I have a neat way of getting items between my quarry and my main base. How am I going to do that? Well, with railcraft, of course. I need to start crafting rails, all kinds of cool tracks and whatnot. All items in railcraft that can transport minecarts are called tracks now instead of rails, and there's a large number of them, as you can see in railcraft. Tons of cool stuff. And railcraft actually overrides the default recipe for standard rails. They're called tracks, and they're crafted like so. You're going to need 6 standard rails, and a stone rail bed will yield 16 tracks. How do we get these standard rails, you may ask? Well, you need to access a rolling machine here and place some iron ingots inside, and you'll get your 8 standard rails. Now, a rolling machine works like an automatic crafting table, so you can have a recipe in it and pump items in, and it'll automatically craft for you, which is a pretty neat functionality. But I'm just going to get a couple sets of standard rails. We don't need anything too complex just yet. I haven't started on my plans for like a crazy rail system. I do want to get something kind of cool in the future, but I'm not quite there yet, so I'm just going to go with the basics. Remember I said last episode I built that quarry out there near my little Minecraft buildcraft getaway because I wanted to kind of start the groundwork for my neat little rail system that I want to do. So the next thing I needed was my Creosote Oil. This stuff, remember? Where is it? There it is. The reason I needed that is I need some wooden slabs and some Creosote Oil to get wooden ties. And wooden ties can be used to make wooden wooden rail beds. Where are they at? There we go. Stone rail bed, I guess. Yeah. 4 of them make a stone rail bed. So a pretty expensive recipe, unfortunately. But let's go get crafting on it. There we go. Get myself some wooden slabs. That's close enough. There we go. And the creosote oil goes on top. Get you your wooden ties. That should be enough for now, I hope. And combine your wooden ties into your stone rail beds. So you're going to need a lot of creosote oil going forward. You can see why I started early on that. But now that I've got my wooden ties with my standard rails, I can get some more track. Woot. 22 should be enough for now. And you might be saying to yourself, 22? What? How do you have 22 tracks and have enough? Don't worry, I'm getting there. Next up, I want to get some powered tracks. These guys, as you know, will launch a Minecraft cart. These are standard vanilla powered tracks, just a new recipe. Going to need some advanced rails for this. So let's craft up some advanced rails like so. Standard rails down the side with some redstone in the middle and some gold down the right side. Gets you 8 advanced rails. There we go. And as you saw in the recipe here, some advanced rails, some redstone, and a stone bed in the middle there will get you... what did I do wrong here? Does that look like the right recipe? Maybe it has to be in, or not a rolling machine. There's my problem. Silly rolling machines looking just like crafting tables. There we go. Yep, powered tracks. I know what I'm doing, I swear. These items, for now, I'm going to store back in my miscellaneous mod items chest, and I'll probably need to do some more with that later. Some other items I want to get. We need some item loaders and unloaders. So let's take a look. An item loader is crafted with a vanilla dispenser. Okay, going to need a... probably, and then an unloader is also a vanilla dispenser, so 2 bow and arrows for me. And then a detector storage. There's several detectors. If I look them up here, you see storage, any, empty, mob, powered, player. I'll get into some of these things in a bit, in future episodes probably, but there's a lot of detector blocks that come with Railcraft, but they're pretty easy to make, just a stone pressure plate in the middle for a detector storage. So let's get 2 of those going. So 1, 2 of these. And, yeah, right, I need stone pressure plates, don't I? Almost grabbed a pair of chests. There we go. Detector, storage. Sweet. And then the dispenser, I'm going to need some strings. I know I have some of those around here somewhere. That'll work. And... cool. And the recipe there is a redstone on the bottom, huh? Okay, I can handle that. With some cobble all around. And you guys might have noticed the recipe here is pretty darn similar. Just place your detector storage on top to get an item unloader, which will unload items, and detector on the bottom to get an item loader, which will load items into minecarts. Sweet. And then finally, we're going to need some chest carts here, and that's a pretty easy recipe. Just the vanilla recipe, as far as I know. Let's see if I'm wrong about that. Hope not. Nope, there we go. Chest cart. So now we should have a chest cart to transport items in, some rails to send items around, and some item loaders and unloaders. Let's go check out how they work out in the field. Alright guys, so I'm ready to set up this little item loader system. What I want to do is move my chests, and I should have probably considered this prior to doing this whole little build setup, but that's okay. I'm just going to move them up 1 level, and I'll explain why I'm doing that in just a minute. And before I finish this up... ow. Rubbish. I just need 1 more buildcraft pipe. Heading up to my little refinery here. I got a cobblestone pipe hanging out. Perfect. Need to adjust the item flow so that it goes up into the chest up here. And there's a reason for that. Your item loader works with gravity. So if you want your item loader to work, you're going to have to place them above your train track or your, you know, powered tracks here. So what I'm going to do is place down a powered track right there. That looks cool. Sure, why not? Okay, I like it. And then what I want to do is place on top of that my item loader. Like I said, it works by gravity, so the item loader has to be above where your train or your you know, chest cart is going to be. Cool so far. And what's going to happen is your item loader, I'm going to put it on complete mode, and I'm going to do 100%, and I'm not going to have any filters. This looks like a little complicated inventory, but it's really not bad, I assure you. This slot here is the current inventory. That's kind of holding the items that are about to be placed inside the chest cart that arrives underneath the item loader. If you want to tell it only specific items are allowed to go in, you'd put the specific items in your filters, but we're not going to do that. We want to dump everything out of this chest and put it into the chest cart. And speaking of that chest, let's get our digger's backpack here and just place it in the chest right now. There we go. Bunch of cobble and sand. We're just emulating what's going to happen in the future as it digs more. Next up, the complete mode being on means the cart will stay until at least 1 item is moved into the cart, or if the cart is full. And complete mode off means the cart would leave if there were no items to load. So what you would do here is, like, the cart would show up. If there's nothing to put in, if complete is off, like that, the cart would say, oh yeah, nothing to do, and leave. But if we have it on, it'll wait until at least gets some items, at least 1, and then runs off. And then you can tell it the percentage of items to put into the cart. I'm just saying put everything you got directly into the chest cart. Next, we're going to lay down some tracks. Dun, 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 dun. That should be good. And I'm going to build a neat little cobblestone railway in that direction. And again, this is kind of more of a proof of concept here. I'm just kind of building this out. Let's get the next items I'm going to have to set up here. I'm going to head back to my main base. There we go. Over here, I want to set up something similar. This right here, yep, happens to be where my item unloader is. How cool is that? Now, I'm going to need to do something a little bit special with my item unloader, so give me a minute to think it through. Alright, so what I need to do is, there's a better way to do this, I just don't have the resources to do it yet. So for now, I'm going to place my chest right like that. It means I can't open it anymore, doesn't it? Oh, rubbish. Not liking this at all. Gonna have to do that. Sorry. I wonder, Ha ha ha. See what I did? It works. There we go. Looks nice and works. Awesome. So my item unloader here needs to work with gravity as well. So it needs to be underneath the rail cart or the mine cart that shows up. So I'm going to place it right there next to my little chest. Cool. And for this guy, I'm going to place yet another powered track right there so that the rail cart will show up. And then some more tracks like so. Now, if you guys are counting at this point, you might realize that I've got about 14 tracks left, and I've got a long way to my quarry. So how am I going to do this? And also note the item unloader has a similar system here, and I'm going to leave it on complete mode. And with the unloader, what complete mode means is the cart will stay until at least one item is moved out of the cart. If it was off and the cart showed up, you know what? I want to turn complete mode off. Yeah, that's fine. Off, the cart will leave when no items can be moved, even if no items have been unloaded at all. So if an empty cart shows up here for some reason, it's going to immediately be sent back off. Cool. Sleep through the night, and then I'll catch up with you guys in a moment. Alright, so what's Direwolf up to? Let's grab ourselves a couple diamonds. Probably going to need all 4 of them that I happen to have on me. Oh well. Got some other cool stuff to do. So what am I going to craft up here? Well, let's try something like this. If I were to place some diamonds like that, and a couple things here, and I've got some iron. You guessed it, I'm using portal spawners. Did you guys know minecarts can go through portal spawners? Maybe you didn't. Now you do. That's my plan, is I want to build a whole railway system that incorporates portal spawners. There'll probably be some more complicated stuff coming in the future, I think. But for now, I'm going to go with this. And I'm also going to need, I don't know, something like this. 4 obsidian sticks. And 4 of you guys. And 4 of these things. Should yield some Rether Pearls. I think I'm correct in this build. Yeah, 4 of them I'm going to need. That's right. So a little expensive, of course. But hey, that's where the fun comes in, right? I'm also going to need a couple of you things here. Yep, that's right. And then how am I for these guys, the stone wafers? I'm going to need a few more. So let me dump off my glowstone. Pretty sure I don't need any more of that. And I'm going to cook up a few more stone wafers off camera. I'll be right back. So let's see if I can remember these recipes here. I'm going to need actually all 4 of these wireless transceivers, right? Because I'm going to need 1 for the receiver dish and 1 for the transmitter. So let's get all 4 of these guys made. And then half of them have to go into the receiver dish recipe. Cool. And then the wireless transmitter, I'm going to need some more obsidian sticks. And I just dropped my obsidian on the ground and it landed in here, so get it out. 2 obsidian sticks, and we'll drop this guy on the ground again. And then what do I need? Stone wafers, I'm going to need 2 more of these, it looks like. At least. And then something like this. There we go, 2 wireless transmitters. And then I need some more of those obsidian sticks. So let's take 2 more obsidian out of here. Inventory problems as usual. And then I think it's going to be something like this. Two wireless receivers. Cool. And here's the build I've got planned. I'm going to need a detector track here, which needs a pressure plate, so not a big deal. Pretty easy to make, of course. And I got the standard rails and the rail beds out of my mod items chest there. And if you guys noticed NEI was in cheat mode, it's because I was just testing this build in my test world. So sorry about that. Wasn't cheating, I swear. So standard rails, sometimes what I do, for those of you new to the series, I will go into a test world and test my builds before implementing them. And then the last thing I think I need, and I have just enough sticks for it, is a pair of redstone torches. And alright, let's give this guy a try. So my build here will be as such. I'm going to place down here, and hey, you get out of here, buddy. Let's even make this look nice too. I'm going to place right here my portal spawner. Now remember, a portal spawner is a full block, and I'm going to make it the dark blue color here. That looks neat. Remember, this portal spawner is taking up this whole area, so this whole block, you can't place another track down. That's not going to work. Don't want to do that. See what happens when you place it down? It knocks that thing off. So, not cool. Want to place our portal spawner here, make it the dark blue color, like I said. And then right here, I'm going to place a detector track. Ta-da! And right here, I'm going to place with, let's get my portal gun out too. Yeah, I can put this stuff here and that, okay. Just moving this out of the way for a minute. Place down that redstone torch that I mentioned earlier. And the reason for that is I want to have, as you'll see in a moment, a constantly powered track. So what should happen is my minecart should show up through this portal, hit the detector track, which won't do anything, and then kick off and go off and land up here. It'll unload its items. When the item unloader is done, it emits a redstone signal, which will cause this track to power up and zip the minecart back through the portal. And the portal here will be activated by this detector thing. And then I want to place down a wireless transmitter here. And I'm going to call this guy right here. Let's go with frequency 100. Okay. And I'm going to set that to be minecart base. Set name. Cool. So frequency 100, ready to go. And it'll kick off frequency 100. Back here, I'm going to put down a wireless receiver. Like so. And this guy can be frequency 101. And we'll call this, you know what, we should call this home base portal. So let's do this. 101, we'll remove the name, 101 home base portal. That should be cool. No, wait. Minecart home. Minecart base, that's what I did. Right. Yep, I know what I'm doing. Honest. It's getting dark. I'll be right back. Alright, so now I'm going to head over here on this side of the fence and swing down to this area. And I'm going to do something pretty darn similar. What I'm going to do is have a neat little build right here, like that. And again, place down this thing here and make it the light blue color. And want to have another receiver. That's this guy. And this guy should receive on frequency 100. There we go. And I'm going to set frequency 100's name to quarry portal. Okay, that makes sense. And minecart base portal for 100. There we go, 101. All right. And then over here, we'll have another detector track. Like that. Then our redstone torch to keep things nice and purty. And the powered track. There we go. So, same deal. Minecart will show up, unload all its items, get kicked off in that direction, activate the portal, and then one more component here, of course, is not that, but this. And this guy needs to activate 101, which is the minecart base portal. There we go. Cool. I like it. 101. Looks good. So let's try it out. What do you say? Ideally, I should be able to just put down my chest cart here, and let's see what happens. I want to have a portal system ready to go real quick. So I'm going to place a couple blocks here real fast. Get a portal gun going. And head back to my base just so we can watch this. And if everything works properly, I'll be happy. Alright, So what ideally should happen is, as soon as I push this chest cart under here, it's going to start unloading items from this chest. And then it's going to launch the cart in this direction, hit the little button, open the portal, sending a wireless redstone signal back to this side, where this portal will open, the cart will zip on up here, wait, unload all its items, and then zip back, and then hang out over here waiting to get something because we have complete mode on. Alright, let's see if it works. Go! Items should be unloading. Yep, look, cobblestones getting dumped out of here and put in my chest cart. How cool is that, huh? Pretty neat, right? Yeah, I like it too. And then, alright, come on, almost done there. Bunch of items showing up. I'm gonna grab some of these anyway. Alright, let's see what happens. Cross your fingers, everybody. Ta-da! Look at that, it showed up right here, where it's unloading its items. And they're going with the item unloader right inside to my sorting system and automatically getting sorted, ideally. Right? Yep, all that's happening. Hooray! And then it's going to launch off there as soon as it's done unloading, which it's almost done unloading. And it should show up, let's watch it through the portal here. That'll be neat to do, right? Oh, what happened? 100? Did I set the wrong thing over here? Yeah, I made that 101 and this 101. Ha! I'm a noob. There we go. That's right. This should have been 100. You guys probably saw that and laughed at me a lot. So let's try that again. Ideally, I should be able to just place this card up here, and if I push it up the track, it should try to unload and then zoom. There it went. Cool. And because we have complete mode on, right, it's going to sit here and wait until it gets at least something. I'll put some more sand in. Or no, sand needs to go in here. Once it gets something out of this chest, it'll zip back through. Ta-da! And land up here, and then zip back after it deposits its item. How neat is that, huh? I'm pretty happy with that build. And so I guess the last thing to do is to turn my quarry back on. Now, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape here for the most part. We'll see what happens. But let's see. As soon as it starts unloading items, it'll send it back, deposit it back at my main base, and then show back up here, and send items back and forth. How neat is that, huh? I'm going to have to see if there's some way to get it so that I can wait until the chest in the cart here is full before it kicks the thing off. Alright, so what I've done here is changed my loader system. I'm going to have the item loader do a number system instead of a percent system. In percent, it moves 100% of the items out of the chest, which is fine. And when it's in complete mode, it'll move as soon as the chest is empty. But I put it in number mode, which means it'll move a fixed number of items into this cart. And I've set the amount to 256, which is equal to 4 stacks of items. 64 times 2, 128, 256. There you go. So 64 times 4. So 4 stacks of items, and I adjusted it with the interface here, is what this thing will wait for before it kicks away. So ideally, we should see that happen in a minute here, and I'm going to wait for it to get about 4 stacks of items, or maybe I'll make it 2 just for now, and we'll see what happens, or, 256 items. So I'll make it, 128. There we go. So once we have about 128 items in here, this minecart will kick off, head back to my main base, dump its contents, and come back and wait for about 2 more stacks of items. And then off camera here, I'll switch it up to 256 or something like that. So the thing's mining. We've got a good amount of goodies. Almost at the 128 mark, I believe. Should be there soon. There it goes. Hooray! And any excess items will be stored in the chest as a temporary buffer. And then once it's unloaded everything, it should come right back to me. There it goes. And collect another 128 items. Cool. But like I said, bumping up to 256. And I'm just being conservative with that number. I could really have it be higher. Alright, that's cool. And with that, guys, I think it's about time to wrap up. This episode has definitely run long, almost 45 minutes here. But unfortunately, it's time to wrap up. So this is Direwolf20 signing off on episode 15 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. And I'll catch you guys next time in 16, because there's one thing I don't have set up just yet. I have no way to get fuel down here, do I? No, I do not. And hey, my minecart just left. So take it easy, everybody.